Thank you very much. I love it when we have a great studio audience here in our theater. And we have a great audience. Thank you guys all for making this what's going to be a wonderful night. I promise this. But let me begin by mentioning that I'm joining with Franklin Graham for a special day of prayer for the President this weekend, Sunday, June 2nd. Now, Franklin, who is CEO of the truly wonderful Christian relief organization Samaritan's Purse, invited people all over the world to simply pray for the President on Sunday, June 2nd. Now, the Bible commands us to pray for our leaders, even if we didn't vote for them. So this is not a political statement. You're not making this to other people. This is a spiritual statement, and you're talking about it to God. Over 250 faith leaders from all over the nation are already signed on as sponsors, and I hope you'll be part of the day of prayer. Now, let me assume for a moment that you don't like President Trump and that you voted for Hillary. Maybe you did. I don't know. I would say they're not overwhelmingly present here tonight, but maybe. And let me assume that you don't like his tweets and you don't like his blunt style of speaking or his policies. And I'll even assume, just for discussion's sake, that you honestly believe that the record job numbers for African Americans, Hispanics, and women, and the hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs that are back in the last 2 years are all a result of the Obama policies, even though President Obama said those manufacturing jobs were never coming back. And he said that the current 3+% GDP growth was something we'd never see again. So let's just assume that the income increases seen by people at the bottom of the wage scale are also because of the policies that happened when President Obama was in office. And the record stock market highs for the past 2 years also have nothing to do with President Trump. So let me assume you actually believe all of that. Now let me ask you an important question. We have been hearing for 3 years that Russia interfered in our elections. So just to make something clear, who was president when the 2016 elections were underway? And here's a clue, just a little hint. It wasn't Donald Trump. He was a mere private citizen and just a candidate. The president was Barack Obama, and the people who were being paid by your tax dollars to protect us from foreign interference were FBI Director James Comey, Assistant Director Andrew McCabe, high-level agents Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, Department of Justice officials like Attorney General Loretta Lynch, high-level official Bruce Orr, and national security and intel officials like John Brennan and James Clapper. They were the ones who actually were responsible for stopping foreign meddling. So why on earth are they on TV every day, not to apologize for the disgustingly inept job they did, or for launching an illegal spying operation on a presidential candidate, but rather to blame Donald Trump for the so-called Russian meddling? Now look, I'm simply asking you to explain how a man who was not in office was responsible for the things that happened when his predecessor was in office. But then the things that happened after he was elected that truly improved our economy and jobs for minorities, somehow they were solely because of the people who were no longer in office. Now, does that make any sense to anyone other than the Trump haters or the media? But then I repeat myself. You see, I'm not trying to make you love or even vote for Donald Trump. That's a decision you got to make. But I'm hoping to make you think about what you've been told and sold by the media, the left, and the D.C. swamp creatures from both Democrat and Republican parties. And I want you to realize something just doesn't add up. So do your own math and make sure that you can explain how people in office weren't responsible for the bad things that happened when they were in office, but somehow they were responsible for the good things that happened after they packed up and left. And then how the people who weren't in office were responsible for the things that happened when they weren't in government, but once they got in and things got going great, they had nothing to do with it. Now, as Ricky Ricardo would say to Lucy, which will date you if you even know what I'm talking about, you've got a lot of splaining to do. That's right, you do.